Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and yeah, we're dealing with a seasonal championship. This one is called Going on Tour, and we're in A-Class GT and Super GT cars. And yeah, doing this championship will give you 5 points towards getting this BMW M2, which is a current festival playlist 20-point reward car. So yes, it's a pretty good car overall, even though I have my issues with it. But yeah, 5 points will get you a quarter of the way there, which is obviously a decent chunk. So yeah, let's see what we're going to be racing in and where we're going to be racing.
You have arrived at your destination.
So yeah, it looks like it might be just the marathon race, but that's here or there. But yeah, we've got plenty to choose from. Got a really nice Alfa Romeo 8C, a couple of Aston Martins, a Bentley Continental, a couple of BMW coupes. The M8 is easily my favourite of the two though. And then we've got a couple of Ferraris, a couple of Jags, Lexus LS 500, which is one of my favourites here. The Maserati Gran Turismo, which is one of the heavier cars here, and yeah, not the quickest by any means. Then we've got the Mercedes AMG GTS and the SL65, also from Mercedes, which has the most torque here. Yeah, I'm going to get in the Alfa Romeo just because it's my favourite of these, and I love the engine and the looks and the drivability of it. So yeah, it looks like we're just doing the one marathon race here. So yeah, that will give us plenty of time to talk though, quite frankly, about this game and what's coming up in the future. So yeah, this is going to be the last championship video, well, seasonal championship video I do on this game, because the new Forza Motorsport is dropping tomorrow. And yeah, although I'm not going to completely drop this game, because we do have a nice BMW i4 coming also tomorrow. It's mostly going to just be extreme off-road silly builds now, because there are plenty of cars for that series that I want to try out. Maybe a couple of how fast will it goes, but that all depends on what I can do with the new Forza Motorsport in terms of that series. I'm not massively hopeful that that series is going to be the best for that kind of series, so yeah, don't know. Also, all depends on whether or not what the the support for this game is going to be going forward, because Forza Motorsport coming out, a lot of people are going to flock to that game from this game. But yeah, if the support pretty much drops like it did with Forza Horizon, I think it was 3 or 4 that came out when the Forza Motorsport 7 came out, it pretty much dropped like a stone when the Forza Motorsport 7 came out. So I hope that's not the case with this game, because this game still has plenty to offer. I still enjoy the driving in this game, I still enjoy the extremely wide variety of cars that are on offer, and yeah, you do get some fun racing at times, especially when you mix it up with the different kind of cars that you can drive, which does seem like the kind of opposite to what the new Forza Motorsport is going for, because most of the cars in that game, if not all, are going to be the same kind of thing really. They're all going to be 100-mile-an-hour plus cars. You're not going to have anything under 100 mile an hour on that game, unlike this one, which you have lots of oddities that can only do about 60 or 70 or anything like that, which I know doesn't appeal for everyone, but I really enjoy that, to be honest. There's nothing more fun than a slow car and trying to get everything out of it, because you've got to keep the momentum up, you've got to keep the speed up, because if you slow down and you've got other people that are in just as slow cars as you that aren't slowing down, then you're going to lose a lot of ground. So it can be quite tense and quite a strategic kind of racing. But with the new Forza Motorsport, it looks like it's primarily going to be racing cars, but we'll see once I get a full look at the car list and kind of inkling at what the car pass is going to be giving us. I'm not holding out the greatest of hopes, which is a shame, because I've been looking forward to a new Forza Motorsport for a long time, but it seems like the ethos that they've gone for has kind of ripped the guts out of the whole reason to enjoy Forza Motorsport, to be honest, which is any and all cars can race against any and all cars and see what happens. Yeah, like I said, with it being focused mostly on racing cars and racing in general in terms of, you know, being a competitive sport, it doesn't seem to have kept the fun, for the most part, around. So yeah, I feel like a lot of I think that game is going to get quite samey quite quick, whereas with this game, you know, I was exploring all sorts of manners of cars, vehicles from the 1920s and the 1930s right up to modern day cars, and then you've got all the various kind of EVs that we've had as well, and you know, everything from gigantic pickup trucks like the GMC Hummer to your smaller Xpeng vehicle, and you know, the BMW electric cars that we've had with the iX, and then we've got the i4 coming as well. You know, that variety in this game with this car list. Yes, the car list wasn't the biggest or the strongest to start with, but I feel with the game pass, with the car pass, with the car packs that they've brought out, because they've brought out a couple of car packs, and then, you know, adding all of the a bunch of Alfa Romeo, Fiat, Abarth, and Lancia vehicles to the game, and then the whole host and wide variety of vehicles that have been added via the festival playlist, which has just been a major draw for this game. If the festival playlist had been weak or just hadn't been updated as regularly as it has, then this game wouldn't have been, you know, keeping me coming back as much as it has done. But because the festival playlist has been excellent for the most part, there's barely been a series that I haven't enjoyed. I think there's probably been like 2 when you consider, I think we were on series 25 or something like that. That's a pretty great run of vehicles, to be honest, and yeah, I'd be hard pressed to find a top 10 cars from the festival playlist that are new to the Forza series, because there's way more than 10 that I have enjoyed driving on this game. And yeah, this Alfa Romeo 8C, for instance, isn't new to the Forza series or anything, but it's a real joy to have it back. It is a fantastic sports car and sounds great, looks great, handles nicely. Just listen to it. It's a theatrical kind of sound on this car, and it's just, yeah. I think the whole love of cars has taken a back seat with the new Forza Motorsport to the love of competition, I guess you could say. And I'm all for competing against other drivers online and on the single player and the like, and I do get a little bit competitive at times, but it's far more about the drive than the end result for me. Always has been. That's why in the online racing videos that I've done, I've never really picked a car that is necessarily considered a competitive vehicle. Sure, I've driven a lot of cars that have been successful, you know, in first place and the like. I mean, the Rivian R1T that we looked at in the previous Racing Online video came first place twice. But the reason I picked that car isn't because I thought it was going to be a winner. I picked it because I enjoyed driving it. It just so happened to be a car that was successful. Whereas, you know, other people will drive a car in the hope that it will be successful and not because they necessarily enjoy driving it. So that seems to be the way that it's switched around with this new Forza Motorsport. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope with the car pass and the fact that they're seemingly going to add new cars to the game monthly outside of the car pass is just going to shake up the variety and bring forward a load of cars that we've never had before in the Forza series that are, you know, more unique and not something you'd necessarily expect to see on a racing game and the like. And I do hope that's the case, but I'm not holding high hopes out for that, to be honest. So yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I fear I'm right. That's not something I can say about other Forza Motorsport games. I think the only one I really could have said that one about was Forza Motorsport 5, which did feel like a bit of a rush job to get it onto the, I think it was the new Xbox One at the time. So yeah, that's the only one so far in the series that has been a disappointment. So I'm hoping that this isn't going to be a disappointment itself. It does also make me think that they've painted themselves into a corner, because what they're going to call the next game. You know, they've dropped the numbers now. Call it Forza 1.1, or you know, or are you going to put a new name, a new secondary title to it, like you get with a load of these horror remakes nowadays? You know, like The Exorcist Believer. You know, you're going to call it Forza Motorsport Reborn, or something like that. Just yeah, that alone has kind of baffled me. It's almost like they think that having a number next to a game now is poison or something. But it's clearly not been the case for, say, Gran Turismo 7. So I don't know why they decided to drop the 8. Just makes it more awkward for people, you know, searching for a game or talking about a game. You have to say Forza Motorsport 8. Didn't know there was an 8 game. Well, you know the one without the number. Ball, that one. So yeah. That's a minor quibble in comparison to the fact that it doesn't seem to have taken, you know, great leaps forward in terms of technology or the car list or anything like that. Sure, the graphics do look better, and yeah, sure the physics have been improved, but the car list is no better than it was in Forza Motorsport 6 or 7. In fact, I feel like it's actually worse than in Forza Motorsport 7, because that has about 700 cars. Whereas this has just over 500, so that alone is a step back. I feel like it's been a step back because they just don't have enough racing cars to add to the game to match the way they want the game to be like. So instead of just continuing to put cars that we've had before, or different kind of cars that aren't racing cars, they've just said screw it, let's only have 500 or so cars. So yeah, I hope I'm not being a bit of too much of a negative Nancy or anything like that, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on the game. But yeah, it was really enjoyable to drive this Alfa Romeo. It's a great car to end this all of these seasonal championship videos on. Like I said, I will do a review of the BMW i4 and the Rivian R1S, because yeah, they are new cars to the Forza series, and we don't have either of them on the new Forza Motorsport game. So yeah, it only feels right to at least have a look at them on here. I'm sure I'll enjoy racing them to some degree. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the new Forza Motorsport game at some point. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.